Jenna, I've been dead for 16 hours and 15 minutes when my mom finally calls the police. She swears I'm not the type of kid to run away from home, and I always pick up my phone when she calls me like a good girl I am, which is true. Now that Jenna is gone, I know how anxious Mom is about losing another child, so I always make sure I have the sound on and a power bank in my backpack. Jenna was nothing like me, though, a wild child, a brat, a party girl, always smelling like cheap booze and even cheaper perfume, her hair tangled and sticky, getting into arguments with parents over curfew and grades and whatnot. And of course, never picking up the damn phone. Sometimes I wondered if she even had one, but whenever I texted, she would reply within minutes. Maybe she was a shitty daughter, but I couldn't have asked for a better sister. It took Mom almost 3 days to notice that Jenna hadn't shown up in a while. But to be fair, Jenna would often disappear like that before, sleeping over at friends and strangers, and sometimes on the streets, passed out on a bench or curled up under a tree in a park. Mom says Jenna was always the difficult one. Ever since we were kids, she would run away and hide somewhere in the house, or even at neighbors, or throw tantrums out of nowhere, screaming and crying and throwing whatever she had around her. One year, we had to replace 17 dishes and 12 cups. When Jenna turned 16, Mom dragged her to a psychiatrist after the meltdowns got too frequent and Jenna was put on some medication. I never found out what it was, but I'm not sure it helped Jenna the way it was supposed to. She just became more mellow, weak. She would still cry, of course, but there was a whole lot less of the screaming. And she didn't party as much as she used to. Of course, her friends would still take her out sometimes, but she would complain about clubs giving her migraines and stay at home most of the nights. She wasn't like the Jenna I knew at all, which is why it didn't make sense for her to suddenly run away. She could barely make it from the bedroom into the kitchen and back in those last few months. And yet when the police said she must have run away, that's what everybody believed. You won't believe what happens next. Follow for part 2.